This is a joyful day. This is a historic day. For this morning, it's my pleasure to introduce you officially to Dr. Sam Schaffer, the head-elect and destined to become Roxbury Latin's 12th head of school. I have known Dr. Schaffer for several years and can vouch for the fact that I've always respected him, and more important, I like him. You might remember that I am the cause for Dr. Schaffer to leave a school that he has served faithfully and loves, and to uproot his family, his wife and daughter, and an unsuspecting canine, and to plunk them down in this foreign burg, and to leave all the haunts and pals he has known so well in Washington, D.C. for nearly 20 years. But destiny called. On February 14th, when Brett Stevens was here, I delivered a perverse Valentine, especially given how much I love you all. And in a hall hastily called together, I let you know that I would step down as headmaster after 20 years in this position at the end of the 2023-2024 school year. Subsequently, the president of the Board of Trustees, Ethan Berman, named a search committee and chose a search consultant, and thus the search began. Far and wide, the word went out that an attractive position on a leafy West Roxbury campus awaited a candidate suitably courageous and talented and experienced. Scores of possible new heads raised their hands or were nominated by others, and the search committee engaged wholeheartedly in culling the herd and arriving at the very person who would lead Roxbury Latin, perhaps into its 5th century. The Board of Trustees ratified the search committee's recommendation, and white smoke was issued from Sean Spellman's barbecue grill so that all of West Roxbury could know the good news. They had gotten their man, and so too did we all get our man. Dr. Schaffer, by any professional standards, is a phenom. A Morehead Scholar at the University of North Carolina, he graduated summa cum laude with a major in history and a minor in Latin. He began his teaching career, like Mr. Matt Phillips and Mr. Ben Corshane before him, as a teaching fellow at Groton. With those ISL roots, he began what would be a regular pattern for him of teaching several levels and types of history, coaching football and basketball, and serving as an advisor and dorm parent. On he went to the venerable St. Albans School in Washington, D.C. St. Albans serves just under 600 boys in grades 3 through 12, and for my money is the American boys' school that comes closest to us, closest to RL in values, academic pitch, mission, and aspiration. Dr. Schaffer left St. Albans after 6 years on the faculty in order to pursue the PhD in history at Yale. At Yale, Dr. Schaffer also received plenty of accolades, both scholarly and personal, and he remained at Yale in a teaching and administrative capacity subsequent to his graduation. But again, he heard the siren call of boys' schools, and specifically against St. Albans, and he returned to Washington for 10 years, marked by increasing responsibility for the imagining and the running of the place. Assistant and then Associate Dean of Faculty, Assistant Director of College Counseling, Director of St. Albans' version of the Penn Fellows Program, through which he got to know RL better, and especially Mr. Andy Chappell, who ran our program. Dr. Schaffer in 2021 was named head of the upper school, a position that exists mostly in larger schools and which combines the responsibilities of a dean of students, director of studies, and dean of faculty. That is the position Dr. Schaffer holds today. By all professional standards, then, Dr. Schaffer is a phenom. But as you can imagine, neither I, in introducing him, or the trustees in selecting him, would care that much about all that were it not for who he is as a real, live, benevolent force in his school. Dr. Schaffer loves his work with the boys. By all accounts, he is omnipresent during the day and at all school events. He teaches and counsels and cares. His talent as a leader is informed by putting the boys, their growth, and their best interest first. For who he is, even more than for what he has accomplished, Dr. Schaffer seems the perfect choice to take the reins, bringing talent and energy and commitment to an opportunity that I only hope he will love half as much as I have. Please join me in welcoming to RL in this storied pulpit the head-elect and my friend, Dr. Sam Schaffer.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Brennan. Sometimes it's hard to recognize myself in those words, but I do appreciate them. How fortunate I am to be here and to be joining the Roxbury Latin community. I can't tell you how thrilled and excited I am, as well as honored and humbled to join you all, to learn from Mr. Brennan, to learn from your teachers, to learn from you, and to become a part of this school's life. And how fortunate you are to be here, to be a part of this remarkable community, and what a place this is. I thought I'd talk a little bit about how I got here. I've known about RL since I began as a teacher 25 years ago, as Mr. Brennan said, as a teaching fellow at Groton. A little more hair on my head, slightly taller, I think, but coaching against your basketball team. And I remembered being impressed by that. And then through the last couple of decades, I've run across RL people along the way, whether at boys' schools conferences, where I've caught up with Mr. Brennan, or at Penn Fellows activities, where I've got to know Mr. Chappell and Dr. Dunn and Mr. Beam and Mr. Brown, and now I even know, of course, Mr. Sundell. And so I know RL people, and over the course of the past few months, I've come to know this school even better and even more of this community. And I cannot tell you what a treat it has been and how everything I've learned these past few months has confirmed everything I thought and hoped about this school. And at each step of the way, what you are, but more importantly, who you are, has jumped out at me. I've talked to your parents, who tell me that what they love about this place is that all of you are known and loved. They want you to be in a place where your character is built, where you're pushed and guided, but also known and loved by everyone. I've talked to your teachers, who tell me what it's like to be in a place where they're surrounded by brilliant colleagues who care deeply not only about their subject, but also about their students. And I've talked to alumni, a lot of alumni, who tell me, sometimes with tears in their eyes, how much this school means to them. I've yet to meet an RL alum who doesn't say that, and how their best friends are still their RL friends, and how their liveliest text chains are still their RL text chains. And these are men in their 40s and 50s and 60s who have accomplished many things, yet their closest friends are from here. That's remarkable, and that's really special, and that is the sense of community that you have here, and that is so attractive. And I keep coming across it. I come across it in your IG feed. I love seeing the photos of you guys learning and competing. I love the 1645 on the football helmets. I love the all-school handshake. The 7th, 8th grade tug of war. That is all really good stuff. I love walking around the campus and seeing the paintings and the plaques and the sense of history you have here. I even love the fact that last night, as I was walking around, I saw Mr. Heaton speed walking across the football field to give me a U.S. history book, and then he showed me the goldfish on the murals in the athletic center. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful place this is, where people care so much about being here. But really, the best part is right in here, and walking in here and hearing that hymn and that organ, and to hear you singing, and to see your faces, and to feel the buzz and the excitement, the energy. That is clearly what makes this place go. And I'll say, when I visited last spring, and I was part of this search process, coming to campus was the most important part of it. And having conversations with your teachers and administrators and the board and Mr. Brennan, that was all great, if not fun. But the best part, I'll say, was being with you all, getting a tour from Jamie Henshin and hearing not only about his classes, but also about his pitch selection, and having lunch in their factory with Angus and Eric and Aiden and others, and hearing what life was like and really like at RL. And I'll say that that lunch was the highlight of my day. Sorry for that, but it really was, because it confirmed everything that I had hoped and heard about this place. And at the end of our lunch, and I don't know if they remember this, but I asked those guys what they loved most about RL, and every single one of them talked about the community here. They talked about the size of the place, how you get to know 55 guys over the course of your time here in ways that are remarkable. They talked about the fact that it's a boys' school and what that means, and how that allows you to create friendships that are deep and meaningful. And they talked even about the fact that it's really hard, but even though it's hard and there's a grind. They love being pushed and working through it together. And I thought, that's pretty amazing, and that's my kind of place. To be fair, I also asked them what annoyed them the most about RL. And one, I'm not sure who it was, said, well, I'm a junior. There's only 2 weeks left in the year, but these teachers, man, they're still giving me tests. And then another said, well, I get annoyed when the food runs out. And again, I thought, all right, this is my kind of place because I teach juniors and I know what that feels like. And there was also the assumption that he would continue to study and work hard and take care of business. And I knew that somehow that student would find the food that he needs and not waste away from malnutrition. But that moment was really the highlight of being here, and it brought into clear definition, along with all the other conversations I had, that this is indeed a special place. It's a place where the first thing that the students talked about was how much they love it here and how much they love each other, and a place where they can speak openly about that. It's a place where it's cool to be smart, and it's cool to work hard, to be an accomplished generalist, but also an expert scholar. It's a place where you all are clearly proud of who you are. I love seeing all the Roxbury Latin sweatshirts, but also humble in how you go about it, where character means as much as achievement. It's a place where you work hard, but you do it together and you grow and learn from it. And this clearly is a place where the life of the mind is strong, and there's value in competing and in learning and growing. But the most important thing is the sense of community that you have, and the sense of trust you have, and the sense of belonging that you have. And that is truly remarkable. And so I will stop there, but I want to thank you all for having me this morning and for inviting me to join you in such a special place. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. I'm so thrilled to be here and to be with you, and I cannot wait to get started. And I'm grateful and humbled and honored to be a part of this community that you all have built, that your teachers have built, that Mr. Brennan has built, and the thousands who came before you have built. And I'll do my best to honor and strengthen all those core values and do my best by you, and I really can't wait. So thank you all for having me, and I'm really excited. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schaffer, for being here and for saying yes. One of our traditions has to do with the ties that bind, and so although you've gotten several gifts since you've been named the new head of the school, I want to present you with this tie that each person in this room has also received at some point at the beginning of his career here, and we hope that you'll wear it proudly, even in Washington, D.C. Thank you, Dr. Schaffer, for your words and for accepting this call to this special place.